Hi, good morning. This is Evisayono, and this morning I would like to continue my reading of a book entitled Should I Stay or Should I Go? Surviving a Relationship with a Narcissist. This book is written by Ramani DUrvasula, Ph.D. Part that I'm reading today is the introduction. Is this you? Starting on page 3. Introduction. Is this you? They met in the years after graduate and medical school through mutual friends. With their freshly minted degrees and careers, happy hours, holidays with friends, and long weekends, the world was full of possibility. Rachel was tall and willowy, successful in a marketing job, enjoying all of the attention coming her way. John was a physician just starting out, smart, attractive, young, and sexy, with his scrubs and his sharp wit. He started courting her and pulled out all the stops. He had a nice car, check. A great job and lots of professional possibilities, check, check. He pursued her arduously, check. They went to great restaurants or they cooked for each other, check. Took long weekends when he could get away, check. And he was inordinately charming. John was very sure of himself and, within months, neglectful. He wouldn't show up on time. If he showed up at all, he was a busy physician, rarely listened when Rachel spoke about her work. Doctor's hours are long, showed little interest in her friends or family after a while, despite charming them initially. He loves me and is busy, so when we have a moment, he just wants to be with me, and yawned and looked at his phone frequently when she needed a sounding board about some workplace transitions. He may be getting important calls. He is a busy surgeon, but they still went out to the right places. Had fun. The was good. And before long, he suggested that she come live with him in his comfortable home. Her lease was up, and at 29, it was time. John made it clear that he didn't want her making big changes to the house. He was used to things the way they were. But he would love a woman's touch, which she soon saw meant cleaning up in between the days the housekeeper came. She rushed about to ensure that the house was the way he wanted it. Before she met him, and in the early days of their relationship, Rachel was cool and relaxed, coming home from work and tossing off her shoes in the middle of the living room or not caring about the occasional sweater she left on the floor at the end of a long day. Now she was keyed up, worn tight, making sure everything was just so. But they fell into a rhythm. She slowly warmed up the home. She cooked him wonderful dinners, and they enjoyed the additional time living together afforded them. His occasional coldness, distraction, need for alone time, and demands that their life look a certain way seemed excusable, since he was a busy doctor giving them a lovely lifestyle. So she focused on the good parts of their relationship. Rachel enjoyed her work, and John never minded her long hours because his were longer. Between their two salaries, they lived very comfortably, and she could purchase what she wanted and have nights out with friends without thinking twice. When their schedules allowed, they entertained and showed off their gracious home and life. Rachel's mother and friends praised her and even resented her. Her home with John was comfortable and their lifestyle enviable. Her mother told her repeatedly, "Hold on to this one. He'll give you a good life. He has a steady job, he's fun, he's handsome, da 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 da." Her friends were slowly getting married and commitment was in the air. Every so often, she would see one of her friends fly into panic mode at losing a fiancé or boyfriend, terrified that time was ticking away and having to go back out there. That only reinforced her drive to overlook the red flags and focus on what was good. That summer, about 1 year after meeting, John whisked Rachel off to Cape Town, South Africa, where he had a business meeting, and then asked her to marry him. The ring was like something out of a movie. He then took her on a glamorous safari. The trip was a grand adventure, with good meals, great wine, great and the feeling that she was living in a fairy tale, although one with an angry prince. She would look the other way at his entitled behavior at hotels, during safari tours, and in the airport. When he became neglectful, dismissive, or nasty, she looked at the 2 carats on her left hand and convinced herself that he wouldn't make that kind of commitment if he didn't really love her. You can't expect someone to be Mr. Sunshine every day, right? They called their families, they told their friends, and the two of them and her ring made the post engagement rounds. They slid back into their rhythms at home, and he began to discuss wedding dates. Her friends and her mother reminded her that she was a lucky girl who had everything: the romance, the Romeo, the ring. John started coming home later, doctor's hours, though it was sometimes clear he had been drinking. One night in a bathroom, Rachel noticed that there were marks on his back, as though he had been scratched. He became possessive and secretive about his devices: iPad, phone, even taking them into the bathroom and rarely leaving them unattended, and often shut the computer when she walked into her room, smiling widely and saying, "Hi, love, thanks for coming in and distracting me from my work." One Saturday, while she was running errands, Rachel had taken one of John's coats to be cleaned and found a receipt for a night when he claimed to be on call. It was from a local bar, with a timestamp revealing that at the time she texted him and he said he was checking in on a patient, he was actually paying his tab. She confronted him and he became rageful. "How dare you accuse me of this? Do you know how hard I work? How, for sake, I was grabbing a pile of papers near Joe Morgan's stuff. He swung by the hospital, and I grabbed his receipt and some other things by mistake. Look, open his calendar. Here is the call schedule. What the hell is wrong with you? Are you going to screw up everything we have because you are so insecure?" She fell to her knees and began to cry, begging him for forgiveness, not wanting to lose all they had together. Hearing her mother's voice that she wouldn't find another guy like this again, feeling she had no right to accuse him, and even if he was out for a drink with friends and didn't tell her about it, he deserved downtime to decompress. Doubt kept creeping in about everything. Once confident, she now began second guessing herself. Her instincts were bothering her, but John would always make her feel crazy when she raised any questions about his behavior. Sometimes he even accused her of cheating. I think I will end up my reading this morning on page 6, paragraph 2. Thank you for listening to this morning's reading. I'm Evi Sayona. See you next time. Bye.